you guys. How's it going? I've got my little setup tonight. I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about propaganda, social engineering, and politics. And hopefully how we can really, turn the tide and make things a little less insane. Get the sheep from just completely pushing us and the whole world, over the cliff, over the edge. Because propaganda, see, the thing is, people don't really understand propaganda, how it works, how it affects them. So they're really at a disadvantage when it comes to counteracting that propaganda. But anyway, I'm Layla. This is Propaganda Fluent, where we do regular shows on different topics, influencers, talking heads, messaging, how people process information, how to talk to your family, how to talk to your friends, and see through the agendas. And so tonight we're going to be talking about, everybody come in. Tonight we are going to be talking about the overall, hello. Tonight we're going to be talking about some fun little stuff, some stories. We're going to be talking about the power of storytelling, seeing through the labels, and really just discussing also the importance of breaking free of your constraints in perception and analysis. All right, so let me see who is in here. Hey everybody. Evening, night for some of us. Layla, good to see you. Oh yeah. Hopefully a cool camera. I know. Oh my God. Last time that was crazy. The camera was getting heated. I guess we were going in too much. Sorry. Okay. So I'm still out on location. Let me just check the streams to see if it's like going or not going, or what's going on. Like, what's going on? Is it streaming? Like, is it working? Like, are we good? Are we good? I think this is going to be interesting because I feel like having the conversation, looking at the content, looking at some of the craziness is always fun to do, because I don't know about you, but there's not an awful lot of people I can actually talk about all of this insanity in real life with. They just don't get it. They're just like, oh, what's the big deal? What's the problem? They're fine. They just want to help us, They're always doing that. Let me see. How do I check the streams and see? I don't even know how you do it. Okay. Yeah, it says it's all going. It says it's going. Okay, good. Nice. Okay. Okay, great. Okay, good. Okay, great. All right, perfect. Yeah, I'm streaming on Rumble, Twitter, X, and it's buffering every few seconds. Okay, I'm going to edit this stream then, because it's probably going too slow so that it's not like lagging so much. And I'm going to end it there. I think it's just lagging too much. End it there. All right. I'm going to end it on the 2 here. Okay. Hopefully this is working. Hopefully this can work better, because I just have regular internet, normie internet. Yeah. Anyway. Okay. No, I think it's okay. I think it's just my internet's not that fast, so I'm gonna just pick it up. I'm just traveling, so. But anyway, I got this really cool book today. I got this really, really cool book. Oops, there we go. Psychology. Oh, zoom in. Don't blur yourself. It's Psychology of Intelligence Analysis. So we're gonna be analyzing. It's a really good book. I think there's a PDF copy online, but I just went ahead and grabbed this one because who cares? I like to have physical things that basically this goes over, in terms of the book content, our mental machinery, and covering thinking about thinking, perception. Why can't we see what is there to be seen? So perception, a huge gap. We talk about that too sometimes. Obviously, that's a big thing where people just can't perceive reality. They just want to live in their like fantasy bubble. And you can tell them, "Hey, this is not it," and they're just like, "No, what are you talking about?" Then there's also like tools for thinking, strategies for analytical judgment, transcending the limits of incomplete information. I love that. Transcending. I'm all about transcending. I'm all about incomplete information. I'm all about putting the incomplete messages together and figuring out and analyzing it. Keeping an open mind. There's just so much to go over in this book. So we're going to be going over this book soon. I just got it today. I'm like so excited to break it down for you guys. Some key stuff. Remember, always have a highlighter. Okay. Good. It's going smoother now. Okay, that's good to hear because I took off the other ones because who cares? All right. So let us get into the first topic. Now I really, really feel like it's going to get to the point where people are just not going to ask questions at all. They're not going to ask questions at all. And I'm seeing that happen in society at such a scale that it's really disturbing. But at the same time, I was wondering, okay, what's going on? And then I actually took the time. I'm sorry, this is me admitting my laziness. I actually took the time to look at and watch MSNBC. Oh my God. So when I was watching the MSNBC, I was really shocked because not just the clips, but the actual shows that they put together, because the shows and the clips are very, very different. And watching that, I was able to see and really get a full grasp and full appreciation of how well they do storytelling. Storytelling is incredibly, incredibly important. I cannot stress this enough. Storytelling is so incredibly important when you're dealing with a massive audience, when you're dealing with a group of people who fundamentally lack a lot of things like imagination, foresight. When you're dealing with those types of people, you have to tell them very intricate, very elaborate stories so they can understand what it is you're saying. Now on MSNBC, they have all of their different shows, but then they break them down. So after an hour or two, you can't even watch the show again. Like, how genius is that? Like the propaganda cycle just constantly going, not letting them get tripped up. But on MSNBC, recently they were, talking about Trump and his civic case that was leaked and, all of that stuff. Ugh, so sad, so disgusting. So I wanted to share with you guys a clip from the show so that we could listen to the wording, because I think this is really, really important to hear how they frame and how they just in this small little soundbite, how they are training people for a very specific agenda. So let me pull up the audio clip. Because it's just I don't know if you guys ever watch it, but you should I definitely recommend watching the news to see exactly what it is they're saying, because some of the stuff is just so over the top. And I'm just like, how is this? How do you believe this is real? How do you believe this is real? I don't get it. I don't understand. Let's see. Fraud. What? It's not letting me. Oh, here it is. Okay. Here we go. Okay, so here's the clip. I'm not going to play the actual video. Hopefully it doesn't take the stream down for just the audio. So I'm hoping. I'm hoping, but you never know. So here.
This evening, in an extraordinary and rare move, a New York State judge found that Donald Trump committed fraud without even needing a trial and a jury to weigh in on the evidence. In the civil lawsuit brought by New York State Attorney General Letitia James, the judge found the ex-president committed years-long business fraud, inflated his assets to get favorable loans and insurance deals. This evening, in an extraordinary and rare move, a New York State judge found that Donald Trump committed fraud without even needing a trial and a jury to weigh in on the evidence. In the civil lawsuit brought by New York State Attorney General Letitia James, the judge found the ex-president committed years-long business fraud, inflated his assets to get favorable loans and insurance deals.
Yeah. So it's really interesting to hear the perspective of how they frame it, where they're essentially telling you that now we're going to have courts. And I really feel like all in all, what they're trying to communicate is you can send someone and you can find someone guilty without having to go to a jury trial. Now, I know that makes sense because obviously, you know, we have civil, we have, you know, criminal, we have the two different places. But I think that the context and that subtle point is going to be lost on people largely. And it's really disturbing to see how, I mean, the whole stream was really bad. The whole stream was really bad. Maybe I could do a members thing where we watch it. But the whole stream was really bad. But essentially, I feel like this type of language that they're communicating is going to do a really good job of helping people believe and making it more normal that you don't have to go and you don't have to do a jury trial. You don't have to do all those things. They can just take everything from you without even a jury. And that's really disturbing. But overall, their hate for Trump is so blatant. I know it's so obvious. It's like so incredibly obvious. I'm going to put my headphones on. It's so bad. Like, it's like, you guys, it doesn't make any sense. But yeah, but obviously that's lost to people exactly why they hate him. They don't really know. They don't really know at all.
This evening, in an extraordinary and rare move, a New York State judge found that Donald Trump committed fraud without even needing a trial and a jury to weigh in on the evidence.
See, that's the thing. Without even needing a trial or a jury to weigh in the evidence. So he doesn't need a trial. They can find him guilty without a trial. Like, that's what they're training people. And I know this seems subtle, and I know that seems, oh, well, they just said that then one time, it's just a clip. But the frequency that they say these things and the emphasis that they put on these type of things, that is going to create an effect on people. That is going to help train them to believe that, oh, you don't need to have a trial. Like, why not? And if we remember the state of humanity and how little thinking people actually do, you know, for a myriad of reasons, stress, lack of nutrition, just horrible education, they're going to come to think that, oh, the guy on TV said, so it must be real. The judge, the Constitution is just a piece of paper. Exactly. It's bad. It's really, really bad. It's really bad. So these are the subtle ways, because everyone's always expecting propaganda to just be this like, oh my God, it's over the top. It's like, oh, it's in my face. But propaganda does not have to be over the top. It starts off very slowly. There's a thing that I call it, that's how I label it, is progressive disclosure. It's actually a term from technology and design. But progressive disclosure, you slowly reveal to people the information that's necessary for them to complete the task that you want. So I like design and I like technology because it's sort of focused in the same vein. Like propagandists are very focused on tasks and completing certain tasks, as we know. Propaganda, the goal of propaganda is not to convince people of things or brainwash them or all of that stuff, get them to feel a certain way. It is about getting them to act in a certain way. So everything, is open. Everything is fair game if it's in the pursuit of getting people to take certain actions. So we have to keep that in mind. I know a lot of people, that might sound strange, but you have to remember it's not about how you think, it's how you act when it comes to propaganda. That's the goal. So they're going to add this stuff in. They're going to be very subtle about it, progressively implement and introduce these concepts. They do it with a lot of different concepts. They did it with the idea that the natives for Britain were not necessarily white. They weren't white. The natives were black. Anglo-Saxon who? So this is how they move things forward in their agenda, because they understand critical things around the fact you hate that guy's face. They understand critical components of how people process information, how people will analyze information, how people respond to certain information stimulus. So they're not going to overload people with things. They're going to pepper it in. And we're trained to really detect and pay attention to the over-the-top propaganda, oh my God, look at that. Oh, it's crazy. Wow. That type of propaganda. The active form of propaganda. But there's the passive or the sub propaganda. There's a lot of different ways. I need to come up with like a full list to easily reference for everybody. But there's two different types of propaganda essentially. There's the active form, the over the top form, and then there's the subtle subversive form of propaganda. And I would say this one where it's like where he's mentioning they don't even need a trial. That, I would say, is the more subtle, inactive form of propaganda that they pepper in to prime and get people ready for it. I hope everybody understands and knows what priming means. Priming, essentially, obviously, getting people ready for, the actions that you want them to execute. So, we see all of this stuff. Anglo-Saxon. We see all of these things and we just sort of brush them aside and we think they're not really that big a deal. But even the most subtle, even the smallest words, even the smallest, bits of propaganda will have an effect and do add up over time, especially when the propaganda can affect your subconscious and how you view reality. So that's a big deal. But anyway, just really disturbing. I don't want to go in too much because I'm pretty sure that they'll block it for copyright and they'll just, say it was not fair. You can't talk about that. Blah, blah, blah. They don't really want people to look at what it is they're doing, obviously. They don't want you to know. But anyway, let's check in because, I feel like every week, I know that I shouldn't be talking about this topic because I'm not, it shouldn't affect me. I shouldn't care, but I really do care about, how do I put this without getting in trouble on YouTube? I really care about the fact that the asylum seekers seem to be flooding certain areas of the world. Let's say that. And they're not getting the help that they need. They're not getting the help they need. So let's take a look at this clip because every single time I see anything related to the immigrants and the asylum seekers, I just am like, how are they pulling this off? The way that they are able to use weaponized words like caring and compassionate and all these words that have now been weaponized to be synonymous with complete compliance with the state, complete compliance with the New World Order agenda, all of those things. That's what all those words mean at this point to me, like whenever anyone says it. So, let's look at this from our people down. Oh my God. It just, every time I think it can't get worse, it does. It really, really does. And I'm just like, what is going on, you guys? What's going on, you guys? You guys. Let me move this slightly. Okay, there we go. Why is this so bad? I'll just move here.
With migrants are well established. Ouistreham is a sleepy fishing port 4 hours to the west, but it has 3 ferries a day to England, and that's why these young men are here.
Yes.
This isn't a one-off. It's happening every day and every night on every
Oh my
truck that
God.
passes through.
Can you
We follow
imagine?
one Bulgarian lorry. The first group manages to open the door, but none of them climb on.
What is this strategy?
A little further on, the driver stops. He's clearly aware of what's just happened. And seconds later, even before we were back in the car, they were past us and onto the truck. The route down to the port here is not like larger ports, Calais or Dunkirk, where motorways lead straight to the dockside. Here the trucks must snake through the town. It makes them much more vulnerable to this.
How?
The police do what they can with the resources they have.
Oh, the police. Oh, the
Around
police.
our car, the young men
Oh, the
don't like being filmed.
So even right.
Oh, the police. Oh, they're doing. You do you see? Do you hear that? Do you hear that? The police are doing what they can with the resources they have. Oh, poor police officers. Oh, they just can't do anything. Oh, they just can't do anything. They can't do anything to stop. Oh, we're just so powerless. We're so helpless. These refugees.
In front of the police there, they're trying to get on.
Okay, and you're all from Sudan?
Yeah, only from Sudan.
And why England?
England is good.
How do you know England's good?
My family here, my brother, big in England.
Your brother is
How did they get from Sudan all the way over there? Do you think they have any money? Oh, how did they get there? Oh, they just, they saved their money. They saved. Oh, you guys, they just saved their money and they got a plane ticket and then they end up there. That's just what happened, obviously, right? Right? It's just insane, the narratives that they're pushing. It's like completely suspend logic. No, nonprofit organizations, partially some of them funded by Open Society, are paying and putting them and dropping them here. It's like insane. This isn't just, they just came. Oh my God. They just came here. They walked across. They walked from Sudan. Oh.
in England.
Yeah,
And how did he get to England? On the trucks?
yeah, here.
Here?
Yeah,
He was here?
yeah, in here I'm going England.
Nous, on a pris des agressions. J'ai été agressée par 7 Arabes dans le métro parce que j'étais debout. Eux étaient assis, mais ils sont venus me boxer. Mon fils s'est fait balafrer au visage, madame. Vous ne savez pas ce qui va se passer.
His son has a scar. Damn, that's messed up. Oh my God. They violated me. My son has a scar on his face. You have no idea what will happen. Wow. But we really need to help these people. Really need to help them. Oh, because you have to do the caring thing. You have to do the caring thing. I can't get over it. I'm not going to get over it because these people are the refuse of the world and they're just dumping it in to different countries. Like, why? Like, why? Oh, but didn't you know that if, this is the thing. They're starting with, okay, all of these people who are just like poor refugees, whatever, they need help, let them in, let them all in. And then the next wave, which Elon was actually posted about, the next wave will be the smart people. It's the talented people. Oh, they're smart and they're talented and they're gifted. They're so talented and gifted and well educated and so smart and well educated and gifted. They should be let in freely. You should let them in. How could you not want to let them in? And And that's the other angle of the globalist thing. Because the first wave was help the refugees, help them in, and the second wave is, oh, look how smart and awesome and cool and talented these people are. Let them in, let them in, let them in. So that's how it's gonna go. And it's all about being caring. Oh, they're the useful poor. Yeah, it's all about, first wave is all about being caring, and the second wave is gonna be, oh, they're so brilliant, they're so smart and gifted and educated. And educated, that all that means is they're really good and really indoctrinated. They're really, really indoctrinated. I don't care how educated you are. Education is pretty much at this point a good sign for how indoctrinated you are, because the smartest people, the people who consume the most propaganda, are the most indoctrinated. So there we go. Yeah, because they're going to stand up for rights. People who are smart and educated are going to stand up for rights. How well did that work in C-19 in 2020? I don't think that did. I don't think it worked too well. So yeah, that's gonna be great, and I'll keep talking about it. I don't care. You can call me racist. You can call me all sorts of names. You can say I'm not caring. Like, I really don't care. I really don't care. I don't think, at the end of the day, it doesn't really solve the problem, because the places they're fleeing are still bad places that have no infrastructure and have terrible economies. So you're not really fixing the problem. You're just moving the problem to a different location. That's it. Like, for whatever reason, those people are not able to really develop in the way that's necessary. So, yeah. I'm a political refugee. Scarface Al Pacino. Yeah, that's so true. Yeah, we have to help all the people. Help them all. All of the people need help. It's just, so disgusting. It's so annoying. I'm just so annoyed by it. But the thing is, what is the reason what is the reason that people are not able to see the situation for what it is? They're not able to see these people for what they are and what the situation is. A very coordinated plan of destabilizing society, and multiple societies. They're not able to see what it is because they cannot see past the labels that are assigned. They can't see these people as a potential army invasion, because they're refugees. Oh, they're immigrants. Oh. But if you just change the label, military-age men coming in boats, storming your beaches, I don't know. I've seen it before. That's all I'm saying. So it's really important. Oh, thanks. Thank you so much. So it's really important to see past the labels. If you're trying to protect yourself from propaganda, if you're trying to analyze propaganda, if you're trying to understand reality in a deeper context, you need to be able to see past labels in society and see past the labels that people are assigning to things. So I'm going to play a clip that I think really helps to articulate from a certain perspective, it's from a hacker documentary, actually. And I thought it was interesting how he articulated this about seeing past the labels, because these things apply in so many different contexts. It's not just one context that these things apply. So here is the video. Seeing past the labels.
The core trait of a hacker is that you see past the labels, you understand the principles and the mechanisms behind it, and you're no longer constrained by labels. That also makes you dangerous and scary to people because you're doing unexpected things. Things all have labels on. Oh, how'd you do that? How'd you get into the door? Well, the door had the lock had a little flaw in it, so you just jimmied it open. Like, that's so scary, you can do that? I'm like, yeah, shit, its lock is just a piece of metal in the mechanics, right? If you could do it too, right? Like, oh, I would never do that, right? But, if you just see a lock for what it is, it's not the symbolic act of sealing the door, but just a latch and a mechanism. It's very clear that you can defeat a lock as well.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really good. I'm gonna play it one more time. So yeah, I think that clip really summarized it. And it really touched on a lot of key points. Even though he's talking about being a hacker, you're essentially hacking society and you're hacking through the matrix when you are analyzing propaganda, when you're analyzing how the social engineers are working. That is seeing past the labels that they assign to things. And most people cannot do that. And if you come up to them and you say, hey, this is this and that is that, they're going to be scared and it's going to make them uncomfortable because they need reality to fit into the box. They need comfort, they need stability, they need consistency. They don't want to go and see past those labels because what's past the label? I'm scared. I don't know. It's really, really interesting. It's really, really interesting concept. So seeing past the label is something that takes a lot of time and effort and energy to become good at. It's not something that most people don't want to see past the labels. They want to stick to their little frames. They want to stick to what it is that they learned and what they've been indoctrinated into. So this is something that propagandists, this is something that social engineers are aware of. They understand people don't want to see past the labels. You and I, whoever watching, you might want to see past the labels and be comfortable with that. You might want to question society. You might question things, but the vast majority of people do not. So this is a key thing that you need to understand, that number one, you need to do it all the time, regardless, no matter how scary it could be. And also, you need to be aware of the fact that people around you, the people in society, are going to be afraid of it. They're going to be intimidated by it. They're not going to want to do it. So you need to develop strategies and tactics. You need to develop tactics, that will address helping people move past that label without alarming them, without setting off any of the bells that go off in their head to tell them, no, danger, danger, too far, Because most people, I feel, they're not good at convincing or influencing others because they want to be too brutal about things. They want to just lay it out like it is. They want to just here's all the truth, here's all the reality, break their heads. And you can't do that. You just can't. It's not about what you want to talk about. It's not about what you feel is truth or right. You need to be aware of the limitations of the person that you're communicating to. And make sure you're not forcing them too far, too fast past that label. But seeing past the label is an incredibly powerful thing because then you're not bound by the constraints of the propagandist. Then you're not bound by the constraints of society if you yourself can see past the label. And it's amazing. It's amazing to be able to do that. It's like the whole world opens up. And it's so liberating. It's so liberating. Now, the storytelling component that the propaganda and fake news, the skills that they have, the storytelling component is what helps people and would help you and help other people absorb the information, because the storytelling in itself allows you the proper frame of reference, the proper context. It allows your brain to smoothly integrate and understand the information and it really helps the information become personified as well. This is not like 101 in terms of propaganda. This is pretty advanced when it comes to propaganda and social influence, but it's very, very important to understand. too much of society, what is that? Too much of society bases everything on labels anymore. Yeah. They don't want to, they live in a realm of secondary experience. They don't want to see reality for what it is. They want to live in the comfort of the labels. And I think that has to do with the fact that we live in this like digital fake world so much, and a lot of young people don't really experience reality. They just, they sort of are, and they sort of, there is. It's crazy to see, because I know that there's so much more to society that we could be exploring, but because the labels are there, they don't want to do it. They don't want to. No, I don't want to do it. It's uncomfortable. It's really weird. I don't want to go. I don't want to go. Oh my gosh. So there's this like video on branding. Oh, I forgot that I had that. I need to do a video on that one. Listening goes, oh, here we go. Listening goes much further than talking. I learned that the hard way. It really, really does. It really, really does. So in terms of the overall process, which we're going to be working through, you should definitely subscribe to my channel if you want to become more versed in being able to influence others and not be so susceptible to the influence of others as well, like the propagandists. It really is a process where you're breaking it step by step. And the listening component is critical. And it's not just because you want to help them work things through. It's also critical because you need to be able to gather intelligence. You need to be able to gather information from those people that you're asking questions from. Because again, what do I need to sell you on? How do I need to frame this so that you will understand that it's not a caring thing to just welcome in the random refugees from all over the world? That's not very caring. That's not going to help your society, because what's going to happen when your society, what's going to happen when your society collapses? I mean, it's not really solving the problem. My main thing. Ooh, light fell. Let me put this back. Poor traveling setup. But yeah, listening goes a really, really, really long way. So before you actually try to dictate to people and tell people, okay, this is this and that is that and this, you have to start and you have to listen. Tactical empathy. You guys are going to get sick of hearing me talk about it, but it is what it is. We're all going to be using that word soon. They're all going to be using that term soon, tactical empathy, because it's just necessary. It's just what's required. Because the stretches that come to people's mind just hearing about things like the book banning and all this like craziness and how people actually analyze situations that they're going through. I'm just like, what? How did you get that out of that? Like, where did that come from? But that's just reality for people. They see the stories on the fake news, they hear about it, and they just absorb it, and I guess it makes sense to them because eventually they get sort of broken down and demoralized to the point where they just absorb whatever it is that is told to them without question. And that's the power of the propaganda, Okay, so I wanted to share with you guys this crazy, like insane thing that I saw. I mean, I don't know how. I really, really don't know how. I really don't know how society is tolerating to all of this. I don't get it. I don't get it. I really just don't get it. So this is the new solution to the California housing crisis. They've got our best interest. They've got our best interest at heart, guys. They do. They want to help us. So can't afford housing in California? Try living in a tiny sleeping pod, all 4 feet of it. So here we go. Yes, the New World Order is here. They're here to help solve the problems that they created. Yeah. Pods have locations in Palo Alto, San Francisco, and Bakersfield. Brownstone Shared Housing has converted 2 homes and an office space into dwellings for dozens of people, with rents ranging from $500 to $900 per month. Isn't that exciting? Oh my God! Isn't this exciting, guys? We don't have to worry about the migrant crisis, or we don't have to worry about the climate. Oh wait, we do have to worry about the climate. We don't have to worry about the economy. We don't have to worry about anything. They've got the pods for us. They've got pods for us to sleep in. How cool is that? How cool is that? Like, what do you need? Like, what more? Like, what more do you need? Really? This is creepy. This is really creepy. Please tell me you get at least the whole pod. This is okay. So this is humiliating. That's the first way I would describe it. This is humiliating. This is destruction of family. I mean, you're not going to be able to date or raise a family in a pod. $500 to sleep in this trash? Really? Really? Oh, Linson, that's a great point. Oh, here we go. Ugh, this thing is like covered up. Here, let me fix it. The quote, his comment. Oh, yes. And the migrants will fill up those fast to create a new norm to shame people for wanting houses. Well, they're already doing that. I mean, why do you need a house? Why do you need so much space? What are you, bourgeoisie? Like, you're not in the struggle. You're not in the struggle. Like, what's wrong with you? Like, this is beyond humiliating. This is like, this goes with the bug thing, though. You know how much I dislike the whole eating bugs thing. This goes hand in hand with that. Like, it's perfect. This goes hand in hand with eating the bugs, sleeping in a pod. That is what they want for you to do. Also, hopefully you'll be sterilized. You know, you won't have any urges, unless you're a migrant, because then, you need to get to the raping or graping. But yeah, this is where we go. This is how we go. Don't be selfish and just get into the pod. $900 a month. The $900 a month pod, people. Like, why? Like, how do you not want this? What's wrong? This is, yeah. Yeah, let's go. Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah. Oh, my God. Ugh. So, Los Angeles Times. Amid California's ongoing housing crisis. Oh, geez. Stupid ad. Get away. Are you serious? What is this? Amid California's ongoing housing crisis, whether it's RVs, tiny homes, and whatever, I don't even know, other improvised forms of shelter, Californians continue to push the boundaries of traditional housing in search of affordability. Never really solving the problem. That's the central thing. Let's never solve the problem. Enter the pod. The tiny sleeping spaces within shared buildings are not new. They have re-entered the housing conversation thanks to a new startup. With locations in Palo Alto, San Francisco, and Bakersfield, Brownstone Shared Housing has converted 2 homes and an office space into dwellings for dozens of people with rents ranging from $500 to $900 per month. Yeah. The basic pods are very cozy. 3.5 feet wide and 4 feet tall. Yes. Yes, you guys, this is all you need. What else do you need? Just big enough to fit a twin mattress. They feature amenities such as charging stations, LED lights, and individual climate control systems. But we're going to be banning, hopefully, air conditioning soon because of, climate. Don't you care about the sun and the world? And it's going to blow up if we don't ban climate and electricity altogether. But anyway, air conditioning and electricity altogether. But yeah, for right now, you can have air conditioning. Residents share bathrooms and utilize storage lockers for their belongings. Yes! Oh my God. Most of which won't fit into the pods. Yeah, because anything past like your laptop to do your work, that's not going to fit. That's not going to fit. And even though 500 to 900 may sound like a lot for such limited space, the rates are far cheaper than most alternatives on the traditional rental market. Isn't this fun? Isn't this fun? Aren't we glad that BlackRock and all these, mega corporation financial houses are like buying up all the like single family residences, and the economy is just crashing, so there's literally no way to survive. Just so glad. So glad we have these options. In Bakersfield, the median studio apartment rents for $995 according to Zillow. In San Francisco, the figure is $2,200. In Palo Alto, the median rent is $2,300. In California's housing crisis has been a key factor in a mass departure of people from the state. Some 500,000 more Californians left in a recent 2-year period than arrived, and about 40% of the state's residents are considering leaving. Oh my God, when you have 40% of the residents in your state wanting to leave your state, that should tell you something. Oh God. So a guy who's a startup founder is living in he's setting up an artificial intelligence startup, is living in the San Francisco pod community for a month. Several AI founders and indie hackers here, he wrote. The downstairs lounges are actually really nice. Oh God. Aside from saving money, Lewis wrote, the benefit of pod living included there's a lot of cool people here too. Oh God. That's so bad. Yeah. Ugh. Ew. They're all booked too. The founder said they have 50 beds between our 3 properties and 49 are booked. Yeah. This is great. This is future. But nothing to worry about, guys. Nothing to worry about. Nothing, no big deal. Just, it's just a natural progression. It's so fun. Ew. Cracking you up in the wrong way. Oh God. Ew. Ew. So yeah, this is where we're going. And I love the comment that people are going to use this and start normalizing it and start shaming people who actually have homes. Like the idea, can you imagine how hard dating would be if you live in a pod and you both live in pods? Dating is already pretty stressful, but then you add like not having a home. Not really an attractive option. Oh my God. This is our society, people. This is our society. It's really disturbing, the progress. So we'll take it. We'll keep an eye on that, and we'll see how that goes. But it just it just blows my mind. It really, really does. I'm just so demoralized right tonight because it's just like, what are we doing as a society? And why is it so difficult to actually break through to people? To just say, hey, it's not going in a really good direction. And it, you know, we have to keep in mind, though, for the rest of the country, it's not really that bad for them. Or they don't really notice it. They're just sort of in their routine. And they see what they see on the news. But, you know, in general, most places, it's just they can get along with it. And then I feel like it's like, until it's too late, until it's like irreversible damage, people will recognize it. Until that's when they'll see it. Oh my gosh. Do you not like people or something? Why can't you bunk like you're in the military? I mean, I just don't think that's a sustainable housing situation. I don't think that's sustainable. I don't think that's long term. I feel really bad. I feel really bad for the next generation. This is like, ugh. Reading that story, it's like very dark and depressing. $900. You're living in Palo Alto and you're paying $900 to sleep in a freaking pod. Gross. But, you know, they said you'll own nothing and be happy. So, yeah. That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Like, what's the problem? What's the problem? Oh, I was going to put something up that I think would actually not be good to do. Because they're not down for the cause. But you know, there is good news in a sense that in the very shallow sense that things like this are popping up. Things like this are popping up, which I'm not sure if you guys have seen this. But here, how do I get this in there? What's going on? Why would it let me open? Hold on. It's not letting me open it. Oops. Oh, it was saving the file. That's why. Okay, but this is a little glimmer of positive news that I would say exists, where I see these little things popping up like this. People wearing this badge are destroying your future. I love when you see these little memes, because they recently, I don't know if you know, their UN goals and everything, they did a recent Agenda 2030 like summit recently where they're talking about, oh, you know, it's not catching on as much as we want. We need to put more pressure, the same blah, 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 the same ridiculous. Like, we need to just pressure them more so that they realize this is really what they want, even though they don't want it at all. And so they released this stupid pin. Like, this stupid freaking pin. And Bill Gates did a whole video on it where it's like, why? Like, what is this pin for? Like, what do you care about this pin? So stupid. And they're like, hey. Oh, hey babe, come back to my pod. No, your babe's on the other side of the pod. Yeah. But no, they bring this stupid pin out and it's like, how is this gonna work? How is this gonna resurrect your stupid goals that nobody wants? It's not. They run these like campaigns and it's just like over the dumbest shit. No. So that stuff is like kind of giving me just a little bit of, you know, oh, it's not so bad. It's not so terrible, but it is pretty terrible. It is pretty terrible. I need intellectual breaks. Layla, you need intellectual breaks to inundate yourself with this. Will burn you out. I did a live earlier on Instagram that I'm gonna post on the YouTube as well. But no, I don't think I need a break from it. It's just like, what the hell? You know? I'm just sort of like, why do they think they can launch a stupid freaking pin and somehow that's going to make us want to give up electricity? Do you see how they're so intelligent, they're so smart, they're so disciplined and focused, but at the same time they do such stupid crap. It's like nobody cares about your stupid pin. More animal videos? Oh my god, I do love the relaxation videos. But yeah, it's pretty late over here. It's like 11:30. But overall, those are the main topics I wanted to cover. I'm still working on getting all this content that I have together and just like putting it together. It's like, oof, so much. But I just wanted to jump on and do the regular propaganda review and just touch base with you guys, because it's just like, really now? Are we really going to live in pods wearing these stupid pins? And then everything, the sun, the weather will get colder, like, or not colder, but that will fix the weather. It's just, no. And we need more videos of Krause. Okay, next time I'll play more videos of him. Yeah, I am traveling. But yeah, I just wanted to jump on here, but I will be back soon with some more videos. Listening to classical music. Yeah, I'm gonna listen to classical music. That's for sure. But I wanted to share this stuff. Tiny homes are a vibe. Tiny homes are not so bad, but you know, sometimes people want a little bit of bigger home. So I'm going to jump off of here, and I appreciate all the thumbs up. I hope you guys follow and subscribe and check me out on Locals and all that stuff. You can follow me on Instagram. You can follow me on X. I'm all over. But I am going to post now. I'm going to post the live that I did on Instagram. That was a bit spicy. But I'm really glad I could jump on here and just touch base and do a little quick propaganda review and talk a little bit about storytelling and all of the ridiculousness that I see. But yeah, thank you guys. Have a good night, and I will see you very soon. I'll probably do a show on Monday. I'm going to be driving, like doing my little road trip vibes. So I'll definitely post the live if I'll be doing it on Monday. Hopefully nothing goes wrong. So I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great night and have a good weekend.